So here we have the control panel, the brains of the operation. So first of all, we have the CO2 monitor and the gas monitor. So that's going to measure obviously the carbon in the air and then the gas. The gas is just there, so it'll detect it quite quickly, and the alarm will go off. So always keep this on for your own safety. So when you try to switch it off, it does have a backup battery, just in case the power goes out or anything, so that's quite good. And then it's also got the temperature and the humidity as well. So leave that on. At night time, if you find it's too bright, what we do is we just slide this over like that, so it doesn't get in our eyes when we're trying to sleep. The next control is this plug is the projector, so you simply switch that on, and then up here is the projector. You have the on button there, comes on and it projects it onto that wall. You can use the drop down screen, and then you can watch a film. Obviously close the door because it'll be a lot brighter. We also have a remote control for it as well, and it's a HDMI, so you can plug it into anything you want. Okay, so we also have our heater. This is our heater here, a diesel heater. We can see here it's pumping out hot air at the minute because I switched it on. So you can see here, this means this little icon here means that the pump is actually working, and it's taking diesel out of the diesel tank to use. And then you've got how hard the actual heater's working as well. But you don't really need to know any of this. This is the down for the degrees. It goes down to 8, and then up, obviously it can go up to, I think it's like 30 or 35, but you'll never need it that hot. It gets really hot in here if you use that. And then to switch it off, you just hold the off button and off it goes. Now the alternative to using that is this key fob, which you'll get with your keys. This is obviously off, on, and temperature up, down. So that works quite well. It works about 20 meters from the car as well. So if you've come back from a nice walk, maybe it's a bit cold, switch that on as you get closer to the van, and by the time you get here, it'll be toasty warm. If you walk slow, that is. So now we have the water pressure. So this is this one here. It's not the water pressure, it is the water gauge. So it's basically a 90 litre tank, and it tells you how much is in there. So obviously 45, just under litres of fresh water. And when it gets to empty, this light will flash as well. But again, you can just leave that off if you've just filled it. You don't need it on all the time. It's up to you. So what else do we have? Well, we have USBs in here. 2 USBs in there, another 2 in there, 1 USB-C and a normal one. And we have a 12 volt plug in there. Then we have these lights here. So spotlights is that one and that one over there, and bed lights. Then we have the kitchen light, so that's that kitchen bar there. And then we have the main cabin lights, so I'll switch that on and off for you to see. So then the main ones. Then it says here strobe lights, but it's actually just the awning light, so out there, just to keep it light for when you're going out at night. And we have the freshwater pump, so you press that on, and then you switch the tap on and off. We also have hot water as well, just move the tap that way, cold, hot, and switch it on. So I normally would leave this on all the time, but it's up to you again. At night time, switch it off because these lights are quite bright when everything else is dark. But it uses hardly any battery, so feel free to leave it on. And also this spare here is for the gas hob, so it's the ignition. So that's that one, and then fridge. So again, the fridge leave on all the time. At night time you can switch it off as long as you're not using the freezer. It'll keep things cool. This is the fridge here, so it'll keep things cool. You've got the freezer compartment. I think this, if you were to switch this off, it would drop. The temperature would drop dramatically. So I would just leave it on if using the freezer. If you're just using the fridge, you can switch it off at night, no problem. The reason you'd want to switch it off, I would say, is sometimes it might be a little bit noisy because it's right under the bed. We've not found any problems with that. We just simply switch it off because that light gets annoying. But it's fine. Again, you could just use one of these towels and put that over there so you don't see it. Little moo moo cow. Okay, so then we have our fans. So we have two Max Air fans, our fan vents. We've got one at the back and then one at the front. So what we advise is this one should always be left on while not driving, of course. So we use this remote, we just press it on. If you leave it on air out at 10%, you can't hear it once it's on. It'll go on, but you can't hear it because it's only at 10%, and it's basically just sucking the hot warm air out, the humidity, so it doesn't condensate in the actual camper van. Now if it gets hot, obviously you can turn it up even higher. It does go all the way up to 100 and it's pretty rapid, so it will keep you cool in those hot days. But even at night we leave it on 10% just so it gets rid of all our sweaty breath, I suppose you could say. And then this one is the same remote, or you can use the other remote. We do have two remotes, but they both work for the same. So you could just switch that one on. There we go, one's coming on. And again, for this one, if it's hot inside the cabin, you would have it on air in. So you have air out, and this one would be air in. So it suck the air into this one, and then it extracts the air that one. So you get a nice flow of air coming through the camper van. And that's it pretty much. I mean, if it is even hotter, you can just basically switch them both on air in, so you're getting a nice cool breeze from both sides. But like I say, the best thing to do, I'll switch them both off. Gotta press them twice to get them off, and that's it. Just shutting it. Always switch them off when you are driving. Never have them open while driving, and try and always keep at least one on with air out at 10%, or have a window open if it's nice and warm. And there we go, that is the control panel.